How you guys doing? It's 514 Mystic from BookieBullies.com, and this is Breaking Down the Books. Coming off a day where we went 8 of 13 on the night, so not so bad. But holy crap, did you guys see what happened in that Florida game? Florida was the first team to score overall all night in anything. You know what I mean? They went up 2-0 early in the game, looking like they were gonna do what they had to do, and that was the only points they put out on the board. They basically got a gentleman's shutout and ended up going on to lose 4-2. So that was a pretty bad loss on that part. We had the minus 1.5 and they ended up losing flat out. But got basically went 8 of 13. Pretty good day overall. Got Washington minus 1.5. Got Vancouver minus 1. A lot of teams hit. So we got our wins where we needed to get them. Boston also surprisingly covered that spread. So, anyways, today's a new day. Short slate of hockey. Got a pretty long slate of basketball, so we're gonna get right into it. Starting from the top, we got the Colorado Avalanche versus the Toronto Maple Leafs. Maple Leafs, they played yesterday. They had a pretty bad loss. If you guys seen what happened there, it looked like that. I gave out the under in that game, and it looked like the under was gonna hit until like the last 5 minutes of the game, and then St. Louis said, "You guys are sorry." Philadelphia said, "You guys are done. There's no like, you guys are finished. We're gonna eat you alive." You know when in Mortal Kombat when they say finish him, yesterday they had a finish him sign above that stadium and they just went in on Toronto. It was crazy, so Toronto, they have a bounce back opportunity today. They're going to be going up against Colorado. Colorado's playing Toronto today, and they got another game versus Montreal coming up. So they're gonna be on a road trip for a while. Back to back doesn't really bode well in the hockey league right now. If anything, you guys could put the over 6.5. Gave the under in the Toronto game yesterday. They went way over, but they didn't go over by themselves. Philly went over by themselves. So you guys could play with the over 6.5 in this game. I actually like that as a pick, but don't go like you could bet Toronto obviously if you won, but I like Colorado as a side more than I like Toronto. I think they're paying a little bit more, and in a situation where they just came off of a back to back, I don't really like their chances. Another thing to look out for is that Toronto might be upset about getting blown out like they did yesterday. So, Colorado might be the recipients of a whooping. But I'd tread softly with that game, and I would just go with the over 6.5. Next, we got the St. Louis Blues versus the Pittsburgh Penguins. Blues, they're doing what they got to do. They started a little slow, and right now they're at the top of their conference. They're at the top of their division, looking really good right now. They're playing against Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh, they've been, they're still without Sidney Crosby. Not sure when he's coming back. Favorite here is 1.86 on your buck. Pittsburgh 6.0 is the total. Mitch Marner, he's coming back. So he's going to be back tonight. So that's going to be a big deal. Sorry, that's going back to Toronto game. In the Toronto game, Mitch Marner's coming back. So that's going to be a big deal for them. Um, so yeah. If you really want to decide, you could pick Toronto, but like I said, they're on a back to back. I don't necessarily like their chances, and I don't quite like betting on injured players either. But Mitch Marner is coming back, so that's kind of a big piece of information. So yeah, going back to the St. Louis game, Binnington's at net versus Matt Murray. No timeline on when Sidney Crosby's coming back. Hornquist also out, Dumoulin out, Schultz out. Bunch of injuries for Pittsburgh, but nonetheless, they do what they got to do. They come around and they play tough games. Last time they seen each other, they lost 5-2. It was on Saturday night. Blues ended up winning that game. Kind of a revenge spot for them. Good opportunity to get a bounce back win. Pittsburgh's on a 2-game losing streak, so it doesn't look so hot for them. I don't necessarily have a play in this game outside of the under 6.0. I don't think it goes over. Um, but yeah, I like the under in this game. Next is the Ottawa Senators versus the Edmonton Oilers. Oilers, we know what they do. They're out here kicking, but Ottawa, they do like they're one of those weak teams that give people a hard time. I don't have a play in this game because it's not paying enough for Edmonton, and I don't have enough balls to bet on Ottawa to beat them. They got Koskinen at net tonight, and Koskinen, he deals with a lot of shots on goal, and he's been rock solid. Honestly, he has a shutout under his belt, and it's almost like every time Edmonton has Koskinen at net, they're like, okay, we don't have to play defense because it's like they allow the most shots on goal when this guy is at net. And they're already top of the league. They're like top five in the league at shots on goal, averaging about 30, 35 shots on goal a game. That's a lot of 35 shots a game is a lot of shots. They might be even be closer to 36. Just giving you the numbers off the top of my head. And you go and check it out right now as you please. Like, open up ESPN or NHL.com and you're going to see where they rank. And trust me, they're at the top 10, and Koskinen, he's been something special for them. So if anything, I would bet Ottawa not to score more than 3 goals in this game. So if you guys could find that on your in your sports books, go ahead and bet Ottawa not to score 3 goals on Koskinen. I like that pick more than anything else. But it's a little bit of a dangerous play because the Edmonton almost plays as if they kind of play carefree when they have him at net and they don't play enough defense, and I'm not a big fan of that. Next, there's Washington Capitals versus the Kings. Capitals won big for us yesterday. I gave them off the minus 1.5. Pretty nice win. If you parlayed that with anything else, then that I don't encourage the parlays. Anytime I give my bets, they're all single picks. But if you parlayed that with the other late night, which was Vancouver, you were a big winner. So shout out to you guys if you were on that. Shout out to you if you have the singles. Either way, we made money. Capitals should not lose again tonight. They're playing against the Kings. Kings are Kings are the Kings. They're not a very good team right now, and but they can't keep on losing all games either. They're coming off of a big win. The Kings. Sorry, no, they lost. They lost their last game, but they did have a big win. Shoot, when was that? They had a big win the other night. Anyways, Kings can't just keep on losing games. Like, that's all I know. So if you guys want to bet on Capitals to win tonight, feel free to do so. They just played in the back to back, and I don't like back to backs in hockey right now. Should be easy money. It should just be Capitals money line. It's paying enough, but understand the back to back factor. If you lose because of that, just understand it matters. But I'm gonna give it out. I'll give out Washington money line and live with the results. They won me so much money this season. I have no problem betting on Washington. Honestly, they've been like the best play in sports outside of Clayton Kershaw in the regular season. Regular season. I mean, Clayton Kershaw on the mound is damn near a W. That's why he pays so little. But I like that today. In that game, you got Jonathan Quick, and it looks like yeah, they're gonna give Samsonov the start tonight. So I like that pick. If you want, you could also put LA Kings under 2.5 goals, but that's playing with fire too. But Samsonov is pretty solid. He's been a stop signer. So if you know, I believe in that kid. I'm a big fan. 6-2 and like 1 on the season. So yeah, he's 6-2 and 1 on the season. So uh, anyways, we're gonna get into basketball now. We got the Golden State Warriors versus the Charlotte Hornets. Charlotte 2.5 favorites versus the Warriors. Draymond Green got rest the last time out. Let's just see to make sure if he's playing or not. I wouldn't imagine that he's not, because like I said, it was on rest the other day. Like the Golden State Warriors really need rest. They're out here taking L's every day. They're resting all the time. When you're getting blown out by 40 points, and you're Draymond Green and you played in 5 straight finals, you don't get to stay on the court in that situation. Don't worry, he's getting enough rest. Not sure why he's getting rest in these games, but he just had a declaration where he said he'd love to spend the rest of his career with the Warriors. So, maybe he comes out with some fire tonight. 2.5 is kind of a low amount, and they've been battling. So, if Warriors might not be a completely bad pick tonight. Charlotte, they do shoot threes though. They got kids on the. They have a bunch of guys who you might not know who they are, but they know how to shoot the ball. So, I don't have a play in this game. All that to say, I don't have a play in this game. You guys could pick either side. I like Golden State as the underdog, so I lean Golden State, but I don't have a play in this game. Next, we got the Bucks versus Detroit. Bucks just their spreads are so high. I mean, it's like they make them almost unreasonable. Gave out the Bucks against the Knicks. Gave the Knicks to cover the spread the other day, and obviously they didn't cover. The Bucks won by like 100 points, but they make those spreads so outrageous. Detroit coming off of they're coming off of a game where they just blow a team out by 40, 50 points. They just blew out the Cavs yesterday by over 30. Excuse me. So their starters got some rest. 8.5 seems like a lot of points to me. And you got Drummond down there who's probably going to try to give Giannis a hard time. Hint, hint, hint. If Drummond is at 16.5 rebounds, I'd put him under because I feel like he gets foul trouble tonight. I don't think Obviously I don't think Drummond plays on. Uh, I don't think he plays on Giannis, but Giannis plays down low so often, drives so often, is so careless when he goes to the basket. I think Drummond gets in foul trouble early and doesn't get his rebounds. But I like Detroit plus 8.5 not to lose by this spread. I think it's a lot of points. So you know what? We have a little bit of time. Let's break the trends down. Now, I'm not a big fan. Like, obviously, I'll break down the trends with you guys because this is breaking down the books. But I'm not a trends guy. Like, yes, if the trends are saying something, then it's always good to follow them to a certain extent. But situationals matter a little bit more than trends do. A lot of time, like obviously, there's a reason why all these numbers are available to us, and it's just to kind of stray us away or make us believe um, that we have a certain edge or whatever the case is. But these numbers they only mean something in based on whatever information you know, if that makes any sense. But like I said before, I'm making some content for you guys to be able to get your hands on, and you'll have an idea. I'll go into more depth of what I'm talking about here. Anyways, overall, Milwaukee's 10 and 11 at the spread. They're not very good at the spread overall. So yeah, and Detroit isn't that good at the spread either. They're 8 and 12. So most of the time they play a team, well, at this point, 60% of the time when they play a team, they don't cover the spread. So 60, neither of these teams are really covering the spread. I like Detroit 8 plus 8.5. 224 is the total, kind of high. I think it easily goes over, but Detroit sometimes they can't really score baskets. I'm gonna stay away from that. Next we got Phoenix versus Orlando. They're two kind of mediocre teams. Phoenix is like, yeah, they're what, eighth in their conference right now, and they play a pretty good game. They're gonna be playing against Orlando. Orlando, they've been trying to get some offense going. They really don't know who they are offensively, but they could play hella defense. Uh, so I like the over in this game because I think if Orlando really wants to win, they're gonna have to play defense. I think they can win. Will they? I'm not sure. Honestly, I think Suns cover the spread with flying colors. But I just lean Suns. Fuck it. I'm gonna give you guys Suns. Sorry, my language. I'm gonna give you guys Suns minus 1.5 and over in that game. Next, Brooklyn versus Atlanta. Last time I checked, Brooklyn said that Kyrie Irving was supposed to be coming back. Now I'm not sure if he's coming back tonight, and let's see. But I don't think he's gonna come back on the road trip. Still, wouldn't make much sense to me. Uh, Yeah, so Kyrie's not coming back on this road trip. So Atlanta's going to be playing versus Brooklyn. Neither of these teams really play defense. 229 is the total. Over would be a good bet. Last time I put over in an Atlanta game, it was versus Golden State. They went way under, so I might stay away from this game altogether. Next, we got the Miami Heat versus the Boston Celtics. Heat's coming off of a big win yesterday where they just beat Toronto, who was undefeated at home up until that point. 210 is the total. 5.5 is the favorite, which is Boston. I like the Heat to cover here. And not only do I like them to cover, I like the money line. I'm going to go Heat plus 5.5 at the spread today. 210 is the total. Not a bad number. Uh, the Heat are best in the league at the spread. They're 14 and 5. If you guys like Boston, you're not out of your mind. They're 11 6 and 2 at the spread in their own respect. So they look like a promising team. But I honestly feel like Miami's going to be able to do a better job on Boston defensively than vice versa. Because I don't think Boston has enough. Well, I was gonna say heart, but anyways, I'm not gonna go there. You can't really measure heart. Marcus Smart is out, so that's their heart right there. And we know Gordon Hayward's still out. Goran Dragic is not going to play either, but they got they'll fluctuate at the point guard position. At the guard position, I don't think Miami's really too slim. They got a lot of young guys, a lot of rookies, and you know guys who are actually playing well. So most of the rookies in the league that are playing very well right now are part of the Miami team. So a lot of undrafted guys there too. So I don't have a total. I like Miami. Next, Pacers versus OKC. Pacers they're underdogs by 1. Not quite sure. They probably have some kind of injuries that's causing this. 209 is the total in this game. I'd love to know why they're such underdogs. Yeah, it doesn't. Maybe it's the point differential. I think the point differential might be what's going on here because it doesn't make much sense to me. Seems something seems off. Anyways, if you guys want, um, the under is not a bad pick. Indiana, they do score points, and every time Sabonis sees OKC, he plays kind of with a like almost like he plays with a chip on his shoulder anyway. So um, I don't know if you guys want to put the under. Dangerous play. I don't have a play in this game. 1 point. I mean, Pacers should probably win, right? Right? I mean, it doesn't look like something that you think too hard about. But OKC's been giving a lot of people trouble. So, anyways, no play in that game. Not gonna force a play. Next, Memphis versus Chicago. Two garbage teams. I'm not gonna force a play here either. I'm gonna completely stay away from this game. Next, we got the Minnesota Timberwolves versus the Dallas Mavericks. Dallas 4.5 favorites. We just hit them yesterday. If you guys followed, we hit on the Mavericks. They just played and they covered for us versus the Pelicans. 229.0 is the total in this game. 4.5 is the favorite. Minnesota. Minnesota, they're hit or miss, man. You know, sometimes they play really well, and you're like, shoot, this team is stupid nice. Then they're gonna turn around and play another game, and you're like, man, are they gonna play defense? So I'm not sold on Minnesota. What we do know is that Dallas, they have a bench, and their bench plays every night. Maybe their starters are not gonna show up every night. Tim Hardaway Jr., he might not score every night. You know what I mean? Dorian Finney-Smith, he's probably not gonna score every night. But we know that their bench is gonna come on and they're gonna do what they have to do. These guys all play hungry, and I like that bad boy Seth Curry. Seth Curry, the only Curry we got right now in the league, and he balling. Like you know what I mean? I like that. 229 is the total, and I think that game goes way over. I'm not gonna go with the Dallas spread, not to get greedy and back to back, but it should be easy money for Dallas honestly tonight. Fuck it. You know what? Oh my goodness, language. My bad. I'm gonna give you guys. Excuse me. Still got the lingering cold here. I'm gonna give you guys Dallas minus 4.5 and the over 229. Next is the Lakers and Utah. Lakers just come on off a big win. Gave you guys Lakers money line yesterday where they were underdog. We're going back to the watering hole. Utah at home since going on that road trip where they lost all kind of games. They're probably sour. They're probably ready to be rejuvenated and all of that. But unfortunately, they got LeBron James and AD coming into town. And boy, oh boy, does that spell trouble. Now, you got Rudy Gobert averaging like 13 rebounds a game. He was averaging damn near 12 on this, well, damn near because 11 point something in this road trip. So he hasn't been getting there. If they have him at 12.5 again, maybe steer clear because he's home and he'll be able to do that. But trust me, I feel like he gets into foul trouble tonight. I think he gets into a lot of foul trouble trying to defend AD tonight, or defend any of the bigs on Lakers. Lakers they could do damage down low. So I wouldn't be surprised if Rudy Gobert got into some foul trouble and ended up not getting his rebounds. I like the Lakers money line here tonight. 212.5 seems like a high number, but I like it under. I like the under. I'm not gonna give it up, but I like the under. But I'm gonna take the Lakers going back to the watering hole, and gonna take the Lakers. Next, got the Kings versus the Portland Trailblazers. Portland coming off of a blowout loss. The guards were basically on lock. Well, basically, because you see, CJ McCollum ended up getting 20 points. And I told you guys, I'm not betting on Portland. I'm going to see if Portland could stand the test. I leaned the spread. If you guys remember correctly, I had the 9.5, but I didn't give it out. I leaned 9.5 spread for Portland, and they didn't cover that, and justifiably so. I did say I'm going to stay away from them until next season when they prove to me something. Not next season, but next year, 2020, when they prove to me something, and I'm sticking by it. They haven't proven anything to me yet. So they got a chance to beat Sacramento in a game where they're 4.0 favorites, 216.5 the total. I don't think they really have an identity. I'm not rolling with a play here. And that's pretty much it for me. So I'm going to give you guys the Bookie Bullies rundown. But before I do that, please go ahead and smash that like button, share, comment, subscribe, and you could hit that notification bell in the corner over there so that you're posted anytime I post videos like these, if you get the drift. So starting from the top, we got the Colorado Avalanche over 6.5, got the under 6.0 in the Blues versus Penguins game, got the Washington Capitals money line, the Detroit Pistons plus 8.5, got the over 213.5 in the Phoenix versus Orlando game, got Phoenix minus 1.5, got the Miami Heat plus 5.5. Got the over 229 in the Minnesota versus Dallas game. Got Dallas minus. It was 4.5. They just changed it to 5.0. So I'm still gonna roll. Uh, I like this. Anyways, yeah. Lakers money line, and you know what? I'm gonna throw in the under 212.5 in that Lakers game. So that's 11 plays. The bonus play being the Lakers under 212.5. I just seen it again and it kind of enticed me. So that's pretty much it. They will officially be posted on my Twitter today. I think I'm back up and standing. And you guys could also go back on bookiebullies.com and check out your free premium plays. I always give out one for each sport and one for Mise au jeu. Sometimes they're the same pick for the Mise au jeu pick or one of the other sports. So, anyways, that's pretty much it for me. I'll tell you, like I tell you all the time, best of luck to all. This is a marathon, it's not a sprint. Go ahead, follow me at 514 Mystic at Twitter. Go ahead and check me out at bookiebooties.com for your free premium plays. And also, link is in the description. That's pretty much it. And be safe, be good, and I'll see you again tomorrow. Peace.